Hello. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome to 2021. All right, so for anyone that's live streaming, welcome everyone. Live streaming on YouTube. All right. Okay, so let's find a comfortable seated position on our mats. And get any props that we need, bolster, blanket, pillow, layers if you're feeling chilly, maybe some aromatherapy, whatever feels good for you. And decide if you want to lay down or decide if you want to sit up, whatever feels right in your body in this moment. You can sit on the edge of a block, the edge of a pillow. If you decide to lay down, try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. If you're sitting up, also relax the shoulders away from the ears. Closing the eyes or keeping a soft gaze on the still point in front of you. Arriving onto our mats. Arriving into our bodies. Arriving into our breath. And arriving into our minds. Just noticing the next few moments what the breath feels like. Noticing the rise and fall of the chest. Noticing the expansion of the chest as well on every breath that we take. And seeing if we can move the breath down into the abdomen. So really moving the breath more into our belly, maybe even placing one hand on the navel, the other hand on the heart, and just seeing the movement of our hands in accordance with our breath. And with this awareness that we're bringing to our breath, noticing if there are any physical sensations that we feel in our bodies. Noticing if we feel certain sensations in specific parts of our bodies. So trying to delve into the deepest part of that sensation. Where do we feel that sensation? Is it a large area of our body? Is it small? And how can we name this sensation? Is it a pinching? Is it tension? Is it tightness? Is it pressure? Is it warmth? Just taking a moment to name a sensation that we feel right now. Even if we feel many, perhaps just focusing on one in this moment and seeing if we can name it. Without judgment, without labeling, without it being a good or bad sensation, the right or wrong sensation, simply just observing what is present. And going along with that awareness of the breath, that awareness of the physical sensations. The intention for class today, as we keep that awareness of our breath, of our sensations, is to honor the beginning. So just think about our response to when we hear that. What do we think about when we hear the statement, honor the beginning? Take a moment just to tune into how the body reacts to that statement, how the breath responds to that statement, perhaps how the mind responds to that. Beginnings can be delicate or explosive. They can start almost invisibly or arrive with a big bang. Beginnings hold the promise of new lessons to be learned, new territory to be explored, and old lessons to be recalled, practiced, and appreciated. Beginnings hold ambiguity, promise, fear, and hope. Don't let the lessons, the experiences of the past dampen your enthusiasm for beginnings. Just because it's been hard doesn't mean it will always be that difficult. Don't let the heartbreaks of the past cause you to become cynical, close you off to life's magic and promise. Open yourself wide to all that the universe has to say. Let yourself begin anew. Pack your bags. Choose carefully what you bring, because packing is an important ritual. Take along some humility and the lessons of the past. Toss in some curiosity and excitement about what you haven't yet learned. Say your goodbyes to those you're leaving behind. Don't worry who you will meet or where you will go. The way has been prepared. The people you are to meet will be expecting you. A new journey has begun. Let it be magical. Let it unfold. Tuning into our response to what was just heard. Tuning into perhaps any new physical sensations that have appeared in response. Tuning into the way that our breath responds. And tuning into the way that our mind responds to what was just heard. And perhaps from this theme of the class, perhaps setting an intention for your practice this evening. How, during our practice, can we honor new beginnings? Knowing that it's okay if things have been scary or difficult in the past, that doesn't mean that things will be difficult or the same in this way, or perhaps it's a result of us being stronger, being able to move through these difficulties that have been experienced in the past. So repeating this intention to ourselves that we have, how we can honor new beginnings on the mat. And then after class, carry this intention with us off of our mat into our everyday lives. We're going to start off class with the sound of Om to really bring in some sound and vibration into the body, the universal Om. Bringing our palms together at the heart, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Take a big inhale in and a big exhale out through the mouth. Big inhale in, ready for Om. Inhale in. Releasing our hands to our side, blinking open the eyes, and just doing a gentle tilt of the head, the right ear to the right shoulder, just opening up the side of the cervical spine. You can even use your right hand to gently guide the right ear down, really opening up the neck. And releasing that right hand, tilting the chin to the chest, getting the backside open. And then bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, perhaps using the left hand to guide the right ear down. Just opening up the cervical spine here, an area that we can often hold a lot of tension in. And releasing the left hand down. If it feels good to you, you can rock the head back, exposing the chin up towards the sky, and feel free to move in neck circles if that feels good to you. Moving in as slow or as fast as a pace that is comfortable for you, perhaps even closing the eyes, just tuning into the sensations in the body. And then reversing direction. And coming back to center. Let's do a few shoulder shrugs. So shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Let's do that again, shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Let's reverse, shrugging the shoulders from the back to the front. Let's do one more of those. And coming back to center. Coming onto our hands and our knees next, getting ready for a few rounds of cat and cow. So your hands are shoulders width apart, your fingers are spread wide, your knees are hips width apart. Release the toes, so untuck the toes, letting the toes hit the mat. The gaze is down, the crown of the head reaching in front of you. Inhale as you bring the belly towards the mat, bringing the gaze up into cow. And exhaling as you round the spine, bringing the gaze to the navel into cat. Inhaling again, navel moving towards the mat, gaze up into cow. And exhaling as we round the spine. Continue doing a few more rounds of cat and cow with your own breath, really adding some movement into the body, adding some mobility to our spine, as well as working our hips with the tilt, and adding on any movements that feel good in your body, perhaps looking left and right, back at your feet, at your heels. For some of you, it may feel good to move the hips in circles. And for some of you, it may also feel good to flip the wrist, bringing the fingertips towards you, just adding some gentle weight, especially if there's a lot of tightness there in the wrist. So just tuning into your body, tuning into what feels good to you in this moment, and honoring the beginning of our practice today. We're honoring whatever beginning you want to honor in this moment. And we'll all come back to center, coming into a neutral tabletop position. Stack your shoulders directly over your wrist. Spread those fingers wide, the knees or hips width apart. Keep the left palm on the mat and lift that right leg up. So you're lifting that right leg up parallel to the mat. Okay. And actually, I made a mistake. So you're going to keep your right palm on the mat, lift your left palm up. So your right leg and your left palm, the opposite arm and leg, are lifted up. So finding that balance here, engaging that core, really hugging the belly to the spine here, keeping that gaze down. Breathing here for 5. Flex that right foot. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring left arm and right foot back down into the mat, coming into a neutral tabletop position. Breathing here as we now lift the left leg up from the mat. See if you can bring that left hip slightly down so that the hips are in line and square with the mat. Raise that right arm up from the mat to frame the right ear. Keep that gaze down, flex that left foot, breathing here, engage in that core, finding your balance here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower both arm and leg. To do one last little core firing here before we start into our sun salutations. Come back into your neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Press into your palms as you lift your knees 1 inch off of the mat, engaging your core, breathing here. Keep that breath moving, gaze down for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep that breath going. 6, 5. You got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the hips high, coming into your first downward dog. So we have about 10 counts here in downward dog, or for you to do whatever else that you need in your practice. This is a great time to start the playlist. So if you want to go to the Spotify playlist, I will post that in the chat box right now for everyone on Zoom. So Spotify playlist, the first song to play is Follow the Sun. So playing that, and then do whatever you need for about the next 5 or 6 counts now, 5 or 6 breaths. Getting comfortable in that downward dog, really spreading those fingers wide. The feet are hips width apart, the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the shoulders away from the ears, and we're really rooting down into inner corners of both of our hands. And it's okay if your heels don't touch the mat. That's not the goal here, right? The goal is to get this full body stretch that we have. Feeling this in basically every part of our body. It's okay to even bend the knees a little if that feels good to you. Just relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And see if you can just let your head hang right now. So giving your head a little bit of a break, your neck a break. Perhaps nodding the head yes, shaking the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Gently walk your feet to your hands. Walking your feet to your hands. Keep a slight bend in your knees as you come into a gentle forward fold. Perhaps grabbing opposite elbows, swinging left and right into ragdoll. Bringing the weight more into the balls of your feet, really feeling this in the hamstrings, the outer backs of our legs. Letting the head and the neck relax, the shoulders relax. Release the hands down to the mat as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. As you roll up, paint a circle to the sky with the palms meeting at the sky, gaze up at the palms, Urdhva Hastasana, palms down at the heart and to the side. Come to the front of your mat if you're not at the front of your mat. Toes together, heels can be slightly apart if that feels good to you. Just standing tall, arms to the side in Tadasana, mountain pose, shoulders away from the ears. Relax those hips and gently tuck that tailbone in slightly. Breathing here as we start our Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutations A. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale as we forward fold Uttanasana, hinging forward at the hips. Inhale as we come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, hands on shins. The gaze is down, the crown of the head reaching in front of you. Exhale as we come back to Uttanasana, forward fold, breathing here. Inhale, rising up, back to Urdhva Hastasana, building on further with our Surya A as we go on. Palms together at the sky, gaze up, palms down at the heart and the side. And building on further, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. This time, bend both knees, plant both hands. Bring the left foot back. Bring the right foot back. Coming into our first high plank. Fingers are spread wide. Our shoulders are directly over the wrists. We're not letting the hips sink, but we're also not raising the hips high. See if you can bring your hips in one straight line from the crown of the head to your heels. Breathing here, engaging that core, hugging the belly to the spine for 5. Lift those kneecaps up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back into downward dog. Breathing here. Shoulders away from the ears, spreading those fingers wide. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Palms down at the heart and to the side. And again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend both knees, plant both hands outside both feet. Bring the left foot back. Bring the right foot back, coming into a high plank once again. Breathing here, engaging that core, and we're feeling like your heels are on the back of a wall, so that your feet are actually against a wall. So you're reaching those heels behind you. You're reaching the crown of the head in front of you, growing long. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Listen carefully. Lower all the way down to your mat. Untuck the toes. Keep them hips width apart. Slide the hands 6 to 8 inches in front of you. Inhale as you lift the elbows up, baby cobra. Breathing here, getting a nice bend in the back, the upper back. Breathing here as we lower the elbows down. Slide the hands back underneath the shoulders. Squeeze those shoulders in. You're squeezing those elbows in behind you. Tuck the toes, lift the knees up. So you're squeezing the whole body, getting ready to push back up into high plank. 3, 2, 1. Push up high plank. Go straight back downward dog. Great job. Breathing here. Shoulders away from the ears. Nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Gaze up at the palms. Palms down at the heart and to the side. And again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana, quickening the pace. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant both hands, bring the left foot back, bring the right foot back. Option to do cobra that we just did, otherwise shift forward into chaturanga. Based on your choice, hinging forward. Inhaling as we pull the heart through, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling as we roll back into downward dog. Breathing here for 3 full breaths in downward dog. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Noticing the breath right now in this moment, noticing any physical sensations. On the next breath, look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Gaze up at the palms. Palms down at the heart and to the side. And again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up, really channeling that yang energy right now. Exhale, forward fold Uttanasana, building that heat. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga, Dandasana, or Cobra, moving through your vinyasa. We'll all meet back in downward dog. How you get there does not matter. But we'll all meet back in downward dog, breathing here, shoulders away from the ears, nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. On the next breath, float that right leg up to the sky, long 3-legged dog. Open up that right hip by bending that right leg, breathing here. You can even move that right knee in circles if that feels good to you to open up that right hip. Breathing here as we float that right leg back up to the sky. Listen carefully, shift forward, bringing that right knee to your nose, but keeping that right knee hovering, getting a core workout here. Squeezing that right foot up towards the body, breathing here as you float that right leg back up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing that right knee to your nose, hovering here, engaging that core, keeping that breath moving.
Float that right leg up to the sky. 2 more of these. Shift forward, bringing your knee to your left elbow. Crossing over, breathing here, engaging that core. Float that right leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your right knee to your right elbow. Breathing here, engaging that core. Float that right leg up to the sky. And lastly, bringing that right knee to the right nose, placing that right foot down on the mat. Keep the ball of the left foot on the mat. So you're in a low lunge and slowly rise up into a high lunge. Bringing the arms up to frame the ears. If this is too much work, feel free to bring that left knee down, okay? So no need to put your body through pain or discomfort. Tuning into your own body, listening to its wisdom. Shoulders away from the ears. If your left knee is lifted, really activate that back leg. Breathing here. On the next breath, doing a gentle twist, right? So we're not like propelling our body to the right, but just very gently open up to the right. Okay, so we're not twisting or forcing this twist to happen. You're bringing your right arm behind you, left arm in front of you, twisting over to the right, breathing here, and then coming back to center, inhaling the arms up, shoulders away from the ears. On the next breath, bring that left foot a little closer. Okay, so you're bringing that left foot a little closer, palms together above you, palms down at the heart, and kick up off of that left leg, coming into warrior 3. So finding a bit of balance here, lifting that left leg up, flexing that left foot. See if you can gently bring that left hip down. Our left hip naturally wants to open up. So see if you can bring that left hip down. Option here, you can float the arms behind you, or for more of a challenge, you can bring both arms out in front of you, framing the ears. Breathing here for 3. Keep that breath going. 2. And 1. Very gently bend that right knee and bring that left foot back, coming back into a high lunge. Breathing here. If your left knee is down, it's okay for you to keep it down for this next asana that we're doing. If your left knee is up, activate that back left leg. Everyone bring the palms together overhead, palms down at the heart. Swing that left elbow over that right leg, coming into a spinal twist. Like I said, if you want to lower that left leg, if that feels better for you right now, that's totally okay. Tune into your body. For those of you who want to split the arms, you may split the arms if that's in your practice. But we're really working on not collapsing our belly onto our right leg, but we're kind of using that left elbow to help open up the spine towards the sky. We're opening the heart up towards the sky. Breathing here just for 3 more breaths. You can do this. Adjusting for your body as you need. Keeping that breath moving, more importantly. And on the next breath, gently unwinding back to center. Everyone lower that left knee down. So if you didn't lower that left knee down, lower it. And we'll rock back, extending that right leg in front of us, Ardha Hanumanasana. So you're flexing that right foot, bringing that right hip back and bowing over that right leg. For some of you that may stop here, that's totally okay. Just tuning into your body. There's no right or wrong here. It's your practice, honoring your body, listening to your body. Breathing here. And on the next breath, bringing that right foot back down onto the mat, that right knee over that right ankle. Bring both hands to frame that right foot. Tuck those left toes, lift that left knee up, coming into a low lunge. Using your core here, bring your right foot back to meet your left foot, coming back into your high plank. Option 2 vinyasa here, or go straight back into downward dog. And know that child's pose is always available to you at any point. Rest is always okay during your practice. There's no right or wrong way to practice yoga. Yoga is a journey for each and every one of us. Breathing here, shoulders away from the ears, or if you're in child's pose, taking a few more breaths there. And we'll all rise back up into downward dog, nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, releasing that neck. On the next breath, float that left leg high to the sky, long three-legged dog. Open up that left hip by bending that left leg. And feel free to move that left knee in circles to open up the left hip. Breathing here. On the next breath, float that left leg up to the sky, long three-legged dog. Listen carefully as we're going to shift forward, bringing your left knee to your nose, engaging your core, breathing here, squeezing that knee and that foot up, keeping that breath moving. Float that left leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your knee to your nose, breathing here, hugging the belly to the spine. Float that left leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your left knee to your right elbow, crossing over, breathing here. Left leg up to the sky. Last one, you've got this. Shift forward, bringing your left knee to your left elbow, breathing here. Float that left leg up to the sky. Shift forward, bringing your left foot down on the mat. Staying on the ball of your right foot and slowly rising up into a high lunge. Always you have the option to bring that right leg down if you need. Shoulders away from the ears, arms framing the ears, breathing here. And on the next breath, very gently, not a rigid twist, but just very gently opening up to what we can, to the left side of the mat. Left arm coming back behind us, right arm forward. Breathing here in this twist, finding that balance. And on the next breath, coming back to center. Breathing here as we gently bring that right foot forward. Okay, so your right foot's coming forward, kind of like a kickstand as we prepare for warrior three. Palms together at the heart to start off. Kicking up that right foot. Bringing weight into the left foot as we float that right leg up to the sky. Flex that right foot. See if you can very gently bring that right hip down. You often open up that hip. See if you can square the hips. Option here to float the arms behind you, or you can bring the arms to frame the ears in front of you. Wherever you are, breathing here for just 3 full breaths. Keeping that breath moving, finding that balance. And on the next breath, gently bend that left leg. Bring that right foot back into a high lunge. Framing the arms up to the ears, finding that balance. Once again, it's okay if that right knee is down. We'll all bring the palms together up overhead, palms down at the heart. Bring that right elbow over that left knee, coming into a spinal twist on the other side. It's okay if you need to bring your right knee down, but we're trying not to collapse our belly onto our left thigh. We're using that right elbow to open up the heart to the sky, to whatever feels comfortable for us. So not forcing or straining our body, we're really meeting our body where our body is right now. 2 more deep breaths here. And on the next breath, gently unwinding to the center. Bringing both hands down around that left foot. Everyone tuck those right toes, lift that right knee up, coming into a low lunge. Use your core to bring your left foot back to meet your right foot. And moving through your vinyasa, or going straight back into downward dog. And when you get into your downward dog, come down into a child's pose. Taking a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of reflection. Tuning back into that intention that we set at the beginning of class. And reminding ourselves, what beginning are we honoring right now? And that could be many things right now. Even if we've practiced yoga for a long time, or even if we just started practicing yoga, each practice is always a new beginning. We always learn something new about ourselves on the mat. We have learned something new about our body, about our breath. about our mind, about our practice in general. So what is a new beginning that we can all honor in this moment? And maybe it's a beginning that you want to honor that doesn't have to do with your yoga practice, and that's okay. Taking this moment to pause in your practice to reflect on a new beginning that you can honor. And on the next breath, very slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. And we'll kick our hips off to one side and bring our legs out in front of us, coming into Paschimottanasana. For some of you, it may feel good to sit on the edge of a blanket, or you can sit on the edge of a rolled up mat or a pillow, whatever feels good for you. It might feel nice to have a gentle elevation in the hips, kind of releasing some of that strain on the lower back. Sitting here with your legs out in front of you, flex the feet in front of you, raise the arms to frame the ears, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale the crown of the head up towards the sky, and exhale as you forward fold. Now, as you forward fold, if you have any props near you, for example, if you have another blanket in front of you that you kind of want to lay on your lap to lay over, that's a great time to bring it. If you have a pillow, a bolster, we'll be here for a few minutes, so it's totally okay if you need to leave the mat for a moment to get something. This is a great time to bring all those props, just so that you can lay forward and try to minimize the amount of work that you need to actively do as we enter the yin part of our practice. So we're cooling down from that heat that we just built. We're reaping the benefits of that yang energy that we just channeled in our practice. So we're letting ourselves just receive. Yin energy is the energy of receiving, of just being. It also correlates to the moon energy, the lunar energy. So just see if you can just be right now in this forward fold. Letting your head and your neck relax, letting your shoulders relax away from your ears. Bending your knees if that feels good for you. And just tuning into, in these moments where we slow down the rest of the practice, just tuning into our breath, tuning into our sensations of the body. And if we find that our mind wanders at any point in our practice, that's okay. We can just simply bring our awareness back to the present moment by noticing what our breath feels like, by noticing what sensations are present in our body. It's human for the mind to wander. It's okay for us to try to focus on the past, focus on the future. That's perfectly human. The growth is that ability to just very gently, as if our mind is a young child that we care for, that we love, we're just gently holding the hand of our mind and just simply guiding it back to the present moment. No judgment, no labeling, no punishment, just simply coming back to the center, coming back to ourselves. Keeping the head and neck relaxed, allowing ourselves to just receive the benefit of our heated practice, relaxing the jaw, separating the teeth, Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And slowly, slowly starting to roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back. And let's do that again. Shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back. And just remove your prop or anything you had on your lap, if you did, away for you for just a moment, as we actually work to keep, I'm facing the camera now so you can see, we're working to keep our left leg straight in front of us and bend that right foot into that left leg, coming into Janu Shirshasana. It's okay if you have a block or a pillow or a blanket to put underneath your right knee if it's very far away from the ground. That's a great idea to kind of ease any discomfort. Use your hands to gently square your chest and your shoulders over that left leg. It's a very, very mild twist here. So over that left leg. Once you have that positioning, float the arms to frame the ears. Inhale the crown of the head up to the sky. Exhale as you fold forward over that left leg. And it's okay to bend that left knee as much as feels good for you. And once again, if you have a pillow or a blanket that you want to lay on that left leg, that's perfectly okay. And as you fold forward, see if you can just mindfully, very gently bring your right shoulder a little lower, just squaring the shoulders to that left leg. Letting the head and neck relax. Relaxing the jaw, separating the teeth. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And just simply being. Letting the body be where it is right now. We're not forcing it to be anywhere other than it is right now. Gently lowering that right shoulder just a tad bit towards the mat. On the next breath, very slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Let's do that again, shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down. And very gently, we're just switching legs. So bring that right leg straight in front of you. Bend that left foot into the right leg, changing our sides for Janu Shirshasana. And this time, gently use your hands to just gently square your chest, your shoulders over that right leg, facing that right foot, flexing that right foot. Frame the ears with the arms. Inhale the crown of the head up to the sky. Exhale as you forward fold over that right leg. It's okay to bend that right leg as much as you need. It's okay to place something underneath your left knee if that helps. And you can always make use of those props. If you have something you want to lay on top of your right thigh to lay over, that's great to have in this moment to add some ease. Relaxing the head and the neck down. Relaxing the jaw, the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. See if you can very gently just bring that left shoulder down ever so slightly towards the mat, just to square the shoulders over that right leg.
knowing that in these moments of increasing stillness towards the end of our practice, that it's okay if the mind wanders. In fact, it's normal for the mind to wander. So that we can just gently work our mind back into the present, gently guide, is a nice way to word it, our mind back into the present moment by bringing our awareness to our breath. And along with the breath, bringing our awareness to any physical sensations we feel in the body. Really forging that connection between the mind and the body. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Slowly start to roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Let's do that again, shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down. We're just gonna, before we come all the way down onto our backs, we're just gonna do a very short mindful meditation, sitting up. Very short, so this is a good time to, if you have a block or the edge of a pillow, the edge of a blanket, sitting in whatever is a comfortable seated position for you, whatever can add some ease. And just taking this moment to place the hands on the knees. For some of you, you may feel called to bring the palms together at the heart. For some of you, you may feel called to place the hands directly on the heart. So whatever positioning of the hands really calls to you in this moment, we're just going to take the next few moments to sit with silence. Noticing the sensations in our body. Noticing what the base of our spine feels like in this moment in our seat. Traveling up the spine. Traveled up to our mid-back. Feeling any tension loosen. Freeing of space, clearing of energy there. We move up from the mid-back up towards our upper back. Releasing energy, clearing as we travel up the spine, all the way up to our cervical spine, our neck. Where the neck meets the head. We're essentially moving up through the chakras, which I will introduce in the next classes one by one. We're imagining that our spine is releasing energy, clearing energy. And sitting with this clear energy for the next 2 minutes. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Releasing the hands down to the knees. Gently blink open the eyes. And we'll make our way onto our backs. Moving ourselves from any blocks. Scooching yourself about halfway up the mat. When you do get onto your back, squeeze the knees into the body, giving yourself a tight hug, rocking left and right, massaging the spine, maybe even moving the knees in circles if that feels good to you, getting a nice extra massage in that lower part of our lumbar spine. And reversing the direction of the circles if you're moving your knees in circles. And we're just going to do one gentle bridge pose, just to kind of clear out our space, open our hearts up for Shavasana. So bring both feet down onto the mat. And you want to be able to have your fingertips reach your heels. So your heels should be close enough to your seat that your fingertips can graze them. Release the hands down, relax the shoulders onto the mat. Keep the gaze up. So we don't want to turn our head as we come up into bridge. So keep the gaze up and gently inhale as you start lifting one vertebra at a time from the mat. Lifting the hips up from the mat, squeezing into those legs, keeping the feet squared, keeping that gaze up. Pretend like there's a string on your belly button that's rising up towards the sky. Breathing here for 3, 2, squeeze a little bit harder. And 1, very gently lower each vertebra down one at a time. Do one last squeeze of the knees into the body. Maybe rocking left and right. And then opening up into happy baby, grabbing the outsides of both feet. You can continue to rock left and right if that feels good to you. And then doing any last movements that you need for your practice. We're coming down into the final pose of Shavasana. Grabbing any blankets, pillows, eye pillow, whatever feels good to you for the next few minutes. Honoring the beginning. All parts of the journey are sacred and holy. Take time now to honor the beginning. slowly start to deepen the breath. Any movement into the body. Wiggling the fingers. Wiggling the toes. Creating new movement. Creating a new beginning. Stretch the arms up overhead, stretch the legs out in front of you, growing really tall. And then bringing the knees into the body as you roll over onto either side into a fetal position, taking a moment to collect your breath here, symbolizing rebirth, a new beginning. And when you're ready, coming back up onto your mat in a comfortable seated position, palms together at the heart. Giving gratitude to ourselves for showing up to our yoga practice this evening. Giving gratitude to our mind, our body, our breath, our spirit. Giving gratitude to those in our lives that show up for us, care for us, love us. And spreading this net as wide as our heart allows today, showing gratitude for those in our community, our state, our country, our world, our universe. And honoring the beginning that we have been blessed to receive in this moment. And knowing that we can start a new beginning at any moment. It doesn't just have to be the first of the year, the first of a month. We have a chance to start over at any moment and to honor the endings that lead to the beginnings. Close out our practice with the sound of a single Om to clear out the throat, to add the vibration into the body. Taking a big inhale in, big exhale out, deep inhale in before Oming. Grateful for each and every one of you for practicing with me this evening. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to email me, ask me,